This is Billionaire Mondays. Every Monday, we present you with another billionaire. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Scrooge McDuck. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. Today we're revealing some interesting and surprising facts about Scrooge McDuck, a popular Disney character drawn up more than 70 years ago. Scrooge McDuck was a cartoon character created by Walt Disney back in 1947. In Cartoon World, he was not meant to be a permanent Disney character. He was introduced in one story and ended up having his own storyline. Scrooge McDuck is the richest duck alive. He's an oil tycoon, created to serve as the antagonist to the beloved Donald Duck. He's Scottish and wears a pair of pince-nez glasses and a top hat. Although he was originally created as a minimal character, he became so popular he ended up being the star of the show DuckTales and is the subject of a comic series that is still printed today. He goes on adventures with his three nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, where they usually end up finding large treasures. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. But that's enough with the intro. Let's take a break and dive into Cartoonland, shall we? Number 1. As mentioned, Scrooge McDuck was not one of the original Disney characters. Although Scrooge McDuck became a popular Disney character in the end, when he was first created by Carl Barks on behalf of Disney in 1947, he was only meant to be a small character. He was created as a character meant to cause trouble for Donald Duck. He was only supposed to appear in 2 movies, 4-Color and Christmas on Bear Mountain. Number 2. Scrooge McDuck was introduced as the rich uncle of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Carl Barks stated when he first created Scrooge McDuck, it was for a one-time appearance. When Disney saw how popular the character had become, Barks started writing stories around McDuck himself. He went on to star in stories with his nephews, such as The Old Castle's Secret in 1948. McDuck became a recurring character from this point on and is still popular today. Number 3. Scrooge was friends with Teddy Roosevelt. In a short cartoon about battle, Scrooge meets up with the president himself. They had met years before and were reintroduced on the battlefield. In the cartoon, Roosevelt is looking for a coward hiding in a shed behind McDuck. The cartoon shows the irony that cowards will hide when the real fighting is going on. After clarifying who they are, the two have a quick conversation reminiscing, and then are shown chumming it up. Number 4. Scrooge McDuck gained first popularity in the story The Magic Hourglass. As we've said before, McDuck was not supposed to be a central character for Disney. He was meant to be a side character in Donald Duck cartoons. When he appeared in The Magic Hourglass, Barks created a background story for McDuck. The story revealed his wealth along with his humble beginnings. It introduced the idea that Scrooge McDuck is fluent in many languages. This theme would be revisited in many stories down the road. Number 5. Scrooge McDuck's money bin is estimated to have held around $31.2 billion. From his first appearance, we learn that Scrooge McDuck is incredibly wealthy. However, he never mentions exactly how rich he is. In 1948, he was first referred to as the richest duck in the world. Years later, experts used a picture of Scrooge's money bin and, using the size of an average duck to do a fair estimation, found his bin held approximately $31.2 billion. Number 6. McDuck was originally written as an old, infirm man. In Christmas on Bear Mountain, Scrooge was pictured as an infirm old man with a cane. Barks originally wanted him to look like a crotchety old man, similar to everyone's old uncle. He realized that if he wanted to continue to have him appear in stories, he would have to change his appearance. Had he not changed him to a younger, more youthful old uncle, McDuck never would have appeared in another Disney story. Number 7. Scrooge McDuck had questionable ethics in his business dealings. Although McDuck was very successful in cartoon land, he was known for being very manipulative and deceptive. Scrooge never had a formal education and prided himself on being able to work people so he could find financial gain. His father taught him early in life that people will screw you over if given the chance. McDuck's philosophy is to get them before they get you. Number 8. Many believe Scrooge McDuck taught his nephews bad character. McDuck would bring his nephews on adventures with him, most of them ending in his family treasure. In each one, he would teach the boys tricks to weasel money out of honest, hardworking people. In retrospect, many people believe McDuck was teaching his nephews the wrong life lessons. Rather than hard work and education, he encouraged them to hustle like he did. Number 9. Scrooge's first job as a boy was shining shoes. Scrooge did not come from money. As a boy, he had his first job shining shoes. He was working in Glasgow and was super excited when he earned his first coin. He later found out that his customer had paid him with an American dime and cheated him out of his money. This was the beginning of McDuck being dishonest, and he vowed to never be cheated again. Number 10. McDuck owned a castle, an estate, and even his own private zoo. Since he's the world's richest duck, McDuck owned several different expensive properties. His main home was Duckburg, the largest home owned by any duck. He also owned his family's ancestral castle in Dismal Downs. Finally, he owned his own private zoo, in which he kept the last known unicorn on Earth, which his pilot discovered while flying McDuck's private plane. If you'd like to know some more about expensive houses in the world, why not check out our video, The Top 10 Most Expensive Houses in the World, by clicking in the top right corner. Number 11. Many writers have shared the job of writing Scrooge McDuck. The original creator and writer of Scrooge McDuck, Carl Barks, stopped working in the 1970s. Many writers have passed the torch and continued to create stories for the character since then. Today, Scrooge McDuck remains a character in the Duck comic universe, starring in the Scrooge McDuck universe. More recent comics starring McDuck don't center around his nephews, but rather on McDuck himself. Number 12. Disney rebooted the DuckTales series in 2017. One of the most popular Scrooge McDuck series was DuckTales, which originally ran from 1987 to 1989. The series was about the fun exploits of McDuck and his 3 nephews. The show only lasted for 3 seasons, but in 2017, Disney decided to reboot the series on their Disney Channel. The new show is being written by Matt Youngberg and Francisco Angones. The first season was released last year and is still being created by Disney. Number 13. Almost £70,000 were raised to fund a documentary about Scrooge McDuck. There's still such a large following of Scrooge McDuck, there was actually a Kickstarter created to fund a project to tell the story of McDuck. There are people all over the world who love this character. This is evidenced by the number of people who showed support through the Kickstarter project. Almost 1,000 people contributed to the project, raising close to £70,000. This project was to serve as a 70th anniversary of the creation of McDuck and was to be written by Don Rosa, one of the writers who took over the character after Barks. Number 14. Scrooge was one of the passengers on the Titanic. McDuck appeared in a comic featuring the Titanic. The goal was to show how greed and money could buy you a seat on one of the scarce lifeboats available on the sinking ship. In the cartoon, McDuck is grabbed by a fellow rich man as they dive into the lifeboats. As they do this, you can see one of the ship's guards pointing a gun at McDuck. In real life, the rich passengers on the Titanic were criticized for offering money to the crew to secure their seats on lifeboats. When it was discovered that the boats were sent off with less than 15 to 20 people on them, the public was shocked. Number 15. Scrooge McDuck is the richest fictional character of all time. Although no one's sure exactly what McDuck's net worth was, Forbes did name him as the richest fictional character of all time back in 2013. Forbes estimated that in 2013, based on the price of gold, McDuck could have been worth as much as $65 billion. It was theorized that the character was loosely based on the industry titan Andrew Carnegie, although most believe he was a take on Charles Dickens's character Ebenezer Scrooge. He definitely shared the same characteristics as Ebenezer Scrooge, but seems to get along with other people a whole lot better. And there you have it, Aluxers, some interesting, lesser-known facts about Scrooge McDuck. How would you like to be a rich cartoon character for a day? Let us know what you think in the comments. Still here, are you? Of course you are. And as always, here's your bonus. Number 16. Scrooge McDuck will forever be 100 years old. Disney wasn't sure what to do with a character that was already old when he was introduced in the late 1940s. Recent writer Don Rosa solved this problem by making McDuck's birth date 1867, and that declared that he was 100 years old in 1967. All of the stories about McDuck were rehashing adventures he had in his youth. This is why Scrooge McDuck is still able to go on adventures in the reboot of DuckTales. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.